Okay. All right, guys, welcome back to class 4. Weekend summary. And as you can see that I have shaved off my head, so don't freak out. I was trying to cut my hair and then I just messed it up, so I shaved off my head. All right. So what I'll do is we will talk about the apples and oranges problem. It's really good to know that. Hi, Joan. Hi. So I will be talking about apples and oranges. I don't know who tried to solve the problem, but just got a message from Daniel that he was able to solve this problem. Anybody else tried to solve this problem? Yes, no? Anybody else tried to solve this problem? No? Okay. Okay. So let me try to talk about the problem first. So what is the problem? The problem is that there's a red zone here that you can see. That's the house. That's your house, right? And then what do is we are going to see that the trees that we have next to the house, the apple and the orange trees that we have next to the house, if any apple or oranges are getting dropped, we want to understand that if they are getting dropped in the red zone, right? So the way it is understood is if the number is negative, that means if an apple is dropping from the tree, and if it is having a number which is negative, that means it is on the left-hand side of the tree, and if it is dropping on the with a positive number, then it is understood that it is dropping to the right-hand side. So if you understand this problem a little bit more, so let's look at this particular input format or the sample input that they have shared. Okay, so there are few stuff here. So we are basically first giving the range of the red zone. 7 and 11 is the range of the red zone, which is basically the location where your house is located. So you can see from the first line contains 2 spaces separated integer denoting S and T, which is nothing but the red zone over here. That's your house, okay? The second line talks about location of the trees, I believe. The second line is trees, yeah. The second line is trees. You see the apple is on the 5, the 7 is here, the 11 is here. And
so your voice comes and goes. Is it my problem?
Yeah, it's happening for me as well. I can't hear you.
Yeah, same here. It's breaking.
Yeah, it's breaking.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you did miss? Like, where should I start from again?
The second line.
Okay, good. So the second line basically talks about A and B, which is the location of the apple and the orange tree. So you see in the sample input, they have given 5 and 15. What does it mean? It means in the 5th location, the apple is residing. On the 7th location is the starting point of the house. The ending point of the house is 11, and 15 is the location where the orange is residing. Now, when an apple or an orange is getting dropped from the tree, we have to make sure that they are getting, we have to see if how many of them are getting dropped in the red zone. And how we can know that? We can know that by looking at the numbers. So look at this number 3 and 2. What is 3 and 2? 3 and 2 are the number of apples and oranges that are getting dropped. So you see 3, and then here it is -2 is 1 apple, 2 is another apple, and 1 is another apple. Again, here it says 2 oranges, so 1 is 5 and 1 is -6. So basically, you have to understand that these guys that are getting dropped, -2, 2, and 1, they are fruits. They are apples. -2, 2, and 1, they are apples. And 5 and -6, they are oranges. So what you have to understand, or you have to calculate, is that if a guy getting dropped with a minus in place, then I will say that it is getting dropped on the left-hand side of the tree. So which means on this area. If it is dropping with a positive number, it is getting dropped in this area. So which means if it is getting dropped in any range between 7 and 11, then I can say that they are dropped in the red zone. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Good. Dilip, it's new for you, so is it making sense to you? Yes, no? Can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah,
That's making sense. Yeah, all good.
Okay, good. Perfect. So we will try to implement this simple Java, simple arrays, simple loop, and that's it. We will be able to implement this. How is that? So let's look at the inputs that we got out of it. So in HackerRank, you know by now that you guys have to complete a blank solution or a blank method like this. Count apple and oranges. Perfect. So you see here they have given int s, int t, which is starting and the ending point of the house. Then it talks about int a and int b, which is the location of the apple and the oranges. And int array of apples and int array of oranges are basically the arrays which will basically give you the list of apples and the oranges that are getting dropped. So in the second, in the fourth line, I believe, yeah, in the fourth line, you can see -2, 2, 1. That's the series of apples, and 5 and -6. That's the series of oranges. That's it. Now let's try to understand the calculation. Okay. So what am I doing now? First and foremost, I want to get the length of. Actually, I should not do that. I mean, here I have got the length of it. It was not really required. Let me comment them out. Because I already got the length of apples and orange from A and B. So I can say that there are, no, sorry, A and B is not the length, right? A and B is the position. My bad. Yeah, this is fine actually. Okay. So what am I trying to do? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand the length of the apples and oranges from this particular array. I want to loop around the array. So I have two loops, one for apples calculation, another one is for oranges calculation. Okay. So let's talk about the first loop. So int I apples.length, which will basically give me the total number of apples that are there in the series. That's one. I'm looping around I++, that's fine. Then I'm trying to understand something. I'm trying to store the position of the apple that, I mean, I want to basically store the position of the apple where it is getting dropped. So think about it. A is the position of the apple tree. This is apples I, which means the first element. So for example, from here, the first element is -2. So I will basically calculate 3 plus -2, which will be 1, right? 3 plus -2 is 1. So that value I am storing in Apple Store array. I've created an Apple Store array and I'm just putting it there. Okay, I'm putting it there. Now I have a if statement, a simple if statement. I'm saying the value that I just stored in Apple Store array, the one that I just stored in Apple Store array, if that is greater than S, which means if it is falling under the red zone. You see, the red zone is starting something between 5 and 15, right? So if it is more than 5, which means on this side, or less than 15, which is on this side, which is basically this zone over here, then I can say that my apples or oranges are falling here. So exactly that's what I did. I simply said if apple.I is greater than S and apple store of I is less than T, that means that's the range where my apple is landing. If it is, then count the number. I'm incrementing the count. I'm incrementing the number of apples that are getting dropped. So the similar logic goes in for oranges as well. I'm again saying if it is greater than S and less than T, then that's the location where my oranges are dropped. At the end of the calculation, I get to print that how many ever apples and oranges did land in the red zone. Everybody is okay with that? It's a simple if else, and with the for loop we can do this. The problem, the way they give the problem, it sounds quite confusing, but if you actually sit with it for a while, you will understand that it's not that of a complex. I want to really understand from everybody. You guys got it?
Yep.
Yes, no? All right, good. So what I will do now is I'm going to run this program, obviously. So run code, which will run with the sample test. And that is a success. And then submit code, which is running against different series. Let's look at the series that they are putting in for a test. So for example, the 11th one is here for this guy. Look at the series, man. That's crazy, right? So they are trying to understand how, so that's the location of S and T, that's the location of apples and oranges tree, and that's the number of apples and oranges that are getting dropped. And then there's a series, huge series. So always, so the point is that whenever you are trying to write a program, you have to just you should not just consider a smaller data chunk to test it. You should actually consider the whole big list of information. And then you want to see that whether your program is working against a different level of test case, different types of test case. And that's how you get to know that it's working fine. Perfect. So that's the end of our HackerRank solution for week 4. Now that we understand this, I will quickly go back to our classes that we have shared so far, and I will run through our usual agenda. So before that, I was supposed to start off with this particular PPT, but anyways, we will again go through the topics, discuss about our solution for week 3, and then list week 5, week 3, week 4. Yeah, I think I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it wrong here. That's the week 4 guy. Yeah.
Problem, orange and apples, not kangaroo. Yeah, you made a copy.
Yeah, I think I changed it. You know what? I changed
Well,
it.
no, you made a copy and paste, I guess.
Yeah. No, wait a minute.
Because
I think.
the last one was kangaroo.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. I think I changed it, but anyways, we will see that later on. Okay. Let's get back to the class. Okay. So in our class, we are trying to understand the find element and find elements. There are two different methods that a WebDriver will give you. Find element and find elements basically will help you to understand or to interact or to find an element in the page first, and then it will let you interact with it. Okay, that's simple as that. So we have shown you a simple XPath here, which is basically a input tag. An input tag could be a button or input text box. That's it. And driver.findElement by XPath input class nav input, which is basically an input box. When I am saying driver.findElement, the first thing that you should always consider to understand is what a particular method is returning back at you. So driver.findElement method is giving back a web element. It's giving back a web element. Once you get the web element, then you can interact with it with all different actions that WebDriver will follow or will allow. You will be able to use that. That's simple driver.findElement. I have explained that very well in the video. I would like to ask if you guys have any questions in this particular slide deck. Yes, no?
No.
Do you have any? Everybody understood that? If you have any questions, let me know. Then the next thing that we would like to understand is find elements. It's obviously, you can understand it's a plural, so which means we are trying to find multiple elements in the page. The reason for finding multiple elements in the page is that you would probably get a requirement where you want to interact with multiple elements in the page, and then you want to find multiple elements in the page, and then you want to probably interact with each one of them separately, or probably just want to see that if all the elements that you are desiring to be present in the page is there or not. You can probably verify its count or something like that. So I have given a very good example of finding elements in the Amazon footer, where you are going to loop through the footer over and over again and click on each and every one of the links so that you can find that the link is a broken link or not. I've shown two ways for that. One is by clicking on the link, and one is by firing HTTP method, that is .get method. Everybody understood that solution that I gave you guys? The HTTP one? Yes,
Yep.
no? Yeah. Good. Right. So that's with that. Here we have to understand that driver.findElements basically gives you back a list of web element. It's a list of web element. What is list? List is coming out of Java collections. Okay. List is coming out of Java collections. You are going to use a list in a scenario where you don't know how many elements you're planning to feed in to the list. You don't know how many elements you want to actually feed in, because list is having the properties to grow dynamically. Okay. Like an array, we have seen that you have to provide a fixed range. List doesn't depend on that. You can fill in as many as information you want to, and then it can grow dynamically. So all you have to do is you have to say list within this arrow brackets. You have to say what type of element you want to feed in to the list, and that's a web element, obviously. And then each and every web element will be feed in to the list, right? So I think, yeah, that's it. And then you see here, I have got the list of elements out of it, and then I am running a for each loop where I'm looping through all the links that
You've been muted, Suvik.
what? Am I mute?
Yeah, a little bit for a bit there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Just give me a second. Let me see something. Hold on. Dodo, internet use karo na. Sorry, I was checking something. So now that we have the list of web elements, I can easily use a for each loop and go through the web element one by one and click on the link one by one. So that's the for each loop that we can use here, or any kind of loop for that matter. But collection, when you have a collection, it's easier to use a for each loop if you want to. All right, then we were talking about creating a test case. Okay, so this is the, in the bottom section, click on every link under, yeah, this is the exact same test case that I was talking about. And this is the creating, yeah, you guys said that you have understood that. So I will keep it till there, and I will quickly go back to the next one. That is the other PDF. You know what? Let me switch off my camera. Maybe that is taking too much of resource. Okay. All right. So I hope this will be a little better because I just switched off my camera. I will quickly go back to. Just 1 minute. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So then we are here, which is basically our navigation commands and some commands that we use quite a lot with web elements. So browser commands are few of them that we can see that we can directly attach with the driver. So driver.get URL, driver.navigate to URL, they are basically doing the same thing. There is no difference between these two guys at all, okay? You are just navigating to a particular website, and that's what we did here. Driver.navigate back, you're just going to come back to the previous page. Navigate forward will take you to the next page, and get current URL will let you know the current URL of your driver, of your website. And get title is the method that will fetch the information out of the title. So which means if you have any site, so for example, my site, okay. If I land in here, if I inspect it, then there's a title of this particular site, which is under the head section. And the title that we are trying to find here is going to be somewhere here for sure. Script. Where is my title? Here, right? So that's my title, and you can get the title of an element of a application by driver.getTitle method. Okay, don't try to use XPath to find a title because you already have a method to get the title for the application. So you can use that directly. Okay, so that's the get title. A very, very important thing to understand is access. Okay, XPath Axes. Guys, you have to understand one thing, that XPath is a structured solution that you will use towards finding any HTML component. When I say it's a structured solution, I mean that you have the ability to use any element in the page as a reference point and find another element out of it. And why would you do that? You would do that because in many real applications that you will test, you will see that you don't have a direct access to the element. I have explained this, but I will do this again because it's a very, very important thing to understand. I will quickly go to anything. I'll go to hostelworld.com. Hostelworld.com. And in here, for example, I just want to quickly go ahead, and this is okay. Leave this. Maybe I just want to click on inspect on this element. And what I will do is I will try and put this on the right hand side. Okay, so I got it in my right hand side. Now I have a better look. Let me take this out. Okay, so I am trying to find the link of this particular element. If I hover on top of it, you can see that it's getting highlighted. That's perfectly fine, but I can directly have an access to it. Okay, so what will I do? I will do a Command F, Control F. Let me increase the font a bit. Yeah, and now what I will do, I will just simply write that I'm looking for an anchor. I'm looking for an anchor that is having something unique, right? So I'm looking for an anchor that is having a title like this, Okay, so at title is an attribute, and that's my title. I can say that, no problem in doing that. And there is one of one, that's perfectly fine. However, I can take the help of something else. What is it? So for example, this anchor is here. I'm able to find the title, no problem. But many at times you will see that finding an element in the page is not that simple. That's where you will take the reference of another element. For example, in this case, what I'm doing, I'm trying to take the help of the span. That's the span which is actually holding the text, right? So can I say something like this? Can I just say that I'm looking for a span? I'm looking for a span that is having a text. And how do I say that? I just say text equals. So the text is this guy. That's perfectly fine. That's my span. So it's yellow in color. It's highlighted. We are good with that. Now from this place, can I say that I am trying to go to anchor? I can go any way I want. Okay. How will I do it? So span is a child of an anchor. You can see that. It's a child of an anchor. If you click on a span, it will probably not work, because when you click on a link, that's where a particular click happens, unless they have written a JavaScript event which will let you click on the span and still do the job. Okay. In this case, I'm assuming that by clicking on the span, nothing is going to happen. So eventually I have to go to my anchor. The best way I can do is I can go to my anchor just by hitting a slash and a dot dot. That's it. That took me to the anchor tag because it's my parent. That's fine. That's one way to reach out to anchor. That's no problem. What is the other way that I can use? Okay. For example, you can assume for now that maybe none of these elements are inspectable. I'm not able to inspect any one of them. Okay. What option do I have then? I can see there is some text over here saying, set up your travel game, right? Can I try to leverage this particular guy up here and then try to find that is here? Because these two guys are near. By looking at the application, you can understand that these two guys are near to each other. So can I take the help of these guys and then try to find all of them here? Maybe we'll try that. So you can see I have a H1 tag called set up your travel game. What I'm trying to show you here is that XPath, there is no right and wrong with XPath. All you have to do is you have to always try to keep one thing in mind. You have to design your XPath in such a way that so that the XPath is not going to be, it's not going to be, it's going to be robust. Okay, it has to be robust in place. If it's not in robust, then it will keep on breaking, and you will spend a lot of time to fix them. Okay, so you have to think of creating an XPath in such a way that you need to make sure that your XPath is not going to break. That's the first thing that you have to take care of. Second thing that you should take care of is you should always try to find one element in the page. Okay, it should be a unique element in the page. Obviously, if you're trying to interact with multiple elements of the page, then it's fine. But if you want to interact with one element at a time, you will try to find this result as one of one. That's one second thing. And third thing is there is no right or wrong way to find an element in the page. So for example, for me, I'm trying to use this guy called set up your travel game. So I'll say copy this. I'm simply going here. I'll say /H1. I'm looking for H1 that is having a text. So let's try to fill that in. So text equals this guy. That got me to the right element up there. Perfectly fine. Now, if I just say /, that gives me the whole section. You see that? You have to play with it. If you play with it, you will understand how things are laid out. Okay, it's very, very logical, very, very logical. It's nothing like coming out of the blue. Okay, so you see, /, gives you the whole section that you're trying to work with. Then what do I have? I have cards. Do you see them? They are all cards. 1, 2. These are the cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You look at the guy in the HTML layer and you exactly understand. It tells you the whole story actually, right? What has happened. So you see here, it says these are all cards, right? Which is under one section. Very simple to understand. Now, if I just say, I'm looking for a div. Okay, I'm looking for a div that is having a class called card at class equals card. Div at class equals Good. Yeah. Okay. So, but by the way, oh, because I have in the mosaic grid. Okay. Yeah, obviously that's fine. So class equals because this guy, all these guys are under the mosaic grid, and this grid is under the section, right? So which is why a single slash didn't got me here. I had to use double slash so that I can bypass this guy here and I can find all these elements. Perfectly fine. So now I have card,
Civic, can I
right?
just ask a question there?
Yeah,
so
please, go on.
you know does the single slash take you back up a step, and the double slash takes you down?
No.
Because just in the previous example,
Yeah, I use single slash and then I say dot dot. That
yeah,
took me up.
that single slash dot dot and then dot dot double slash is taking you down to the card.
No. Single slash dot dot took me up here, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Then if I just say single slash, it is taking me down because now
Yeah.
I'm trying to start the search from here, and I will say slash, and I will say div. That got me to the first div. And now if I fill in the attribute, say this one. Sorry, let me remove this guy. Okay. Now if I try to fill in this attribute, it is not able to find this element class card. Why? Because I have a parent of class card, which is mosaic grid. If I say mosaic grid, then I am able to find the parent of all these cards. This is the grid, the mosaic grid, right? But my motive is to find the cards. So what will I do? I will try to bypass this. So slash means you are going one step at a time.
Okay.
So obviously from the section is having two immediate child or three immediate child. One is H1, H2, and div. These three are the immediate child of section. So if I say slash, I am going one child at a time. So you see, if I just say slash up here and just say H1, I get the first guy. I say H2, that's the second guy. I say div, that's my third guy. So these three are my child of section. Under div mosaic grid, I have cards. Make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. Thanks.
And these are one step at a time. If I want to search down in the series, I basically will go for double slash. That will basically do the search for me, like so. In the same section, by the way, in the same section. It is not trying to find out all the divs in the page. No, it is trying to find out the child and the grandchild, which is meeting this particular criteria. That's it, right? So I have now the grid, and then this grid is, sorry, this is not a mosaic grid, but I'm looking for a card. C-A-R-D, card. That's it. I have 7 of them, perfectly fine. Now I want to target a particular one. What will I do? I can either go for, I'll just wrap up the whole XPath in a bracket. And I will say 1. That is pointing me to the first card, right? Inside that, if you remember, I have an anchor, and that anchor is my target. So I say slash A, and that's it. Which means if I am planning to click all of them one by one, or maybe not even click, but just the extraction of this element, this HTTPS, I can do that. Okay, so let me actually do that for you. I will try to use it as a dynamic XPath. what is dynamic XPath? I will explain that to you right now. Okay, so I will go back to my Eclipse. I will quickly create a project for week 4 summary. Java project, week 4. Right. And let me fill in my guys. Week 3. Do I have the? No, I don't have that. I'm looking for the method driver factory. Okay. So what I will do is I'll quickly go back to my project in here, new package. So test hostel finish new class and test hostel, right, with a main method. Perfectly fine. This driver factory, I will simply copy and paste it here. My bad. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. So everyone is happy. I don't have the WebDriver. No problem. Let me import the WebDriver libraries as external jar. Where is my Selenium? Yeah. So that's that. Apply close. Okay. Why I'm not able to find this element now? I am putting where now? It is in the system library. Add external jars. Yeah, that's fine. Weird. Why is that not working now? Java build part libraries, that's fine. Add jar. Yeah. Remove. Add external jars. Selenium. Selenium Java. No, my bad. I think I am referring to a wrong guy. Selenium dev. I'm referring to a wrong guy. This is the one I need. Selenium server jar. So cancel. What the hell? Sorry. Keep show in Finder. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. Server standalone. Downloads. Selenium. Right. Perfect. So now that we have everything in place of this guy here, let me just try and do something in Eclipse. Let me close out everything else. Okay, this is fine. Hostel world. I'll just quickly go ahead and use my driver factory. So driver factory driver df equals new driver factory. That gives me the driver factory object. That's fine. I will just simply get the driver over here. So I'll just say Webdriver driver equals null. And then what do? I just go ahead and import my WebDriver here in this class, and then just say driver equals df dot get driver. That's a method that I've already explained to you guys, and I'd say Chrome, right? And then I'll just try to kick it out. I want to see something. Driver dot get, and the get will get me to hostelworld.com, which is here. Hostelworld.com. Okay. And then that's my location. Perfectly fine. Now let me just try to run this. I want to check something if this actually works. Because I'm running it from, yeah, as I was thinking. Driver executable is not there. Right. So I don't want to put it in here. In Mac, it works in a different way. Let me try and run this one more time. That's it. Yeah. So it fails. It fails with what? Session not created. This version of Chrome driver supports only Chrome version 79. What do I have? I have an older version, I believe. So
I think Chrome was updated like yesterday or something. I had to
right.
put
No,
in a
this
new
is
one.
this is a
Yeah.
81 version. Let me try and update that. But anyways, I have to change my will only supports Chrome version 79, and the version that I am using is a newer one. So let me restart this guy here. Okay. Do I have another version? Selenium.dev downloads. Let us Selenium 4 alpha version 4 alpha 6. Stable is this guy, which is that's the old one, right? This is Selenium 4 alpha. Remove jar downloads. Selenium downloads. Selenium server alpha 4.0. Open, apply and close. Okay. And then we try to start this one more time to check if this works fine. Wow. It is again having a problem. This is weird. Have you guys got this earlier?
Yeah, I got the same thing as Siobhan, where I think I had Chrome version 81 .exe, and I think Chrome updated to version 83 during the week, so I had to download the Chrome driver version 83, and then it was working okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me
Yeah.
as well tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Chrome that
I mean, yesterday. Yeah.
yeah, I think the Chrome that I am Chrome version of
Sorry.
yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, the thing is, I used a 79 version jar. So it is better if you can update to that current version. It works, Savik. Latest version.
No. What I will do is I will try to use I will try to download the Chrome driver
Yes.
for Mac, which is something that I use. Wait a minute.
Okay.
So Mac Chrome driver. Chrome driver, yeah. The way of installing it is totally different than the way we do it earlier. So I'll just try to use this guy. Or I can just use this npm install. Let me try to open up.
I use IE, doesn't matter.
I'm sorry?
I use
no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just that every browser is having their server jar and then exe file, which is the driver. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really matter. It's just that in my system right now, I have not used Selenium mostly in this system for a long time because I mostly work on other tools. So that's the reason I didn't update my.
Yeah, so it might have a compatibility problems.
Yeah, exactly. So let me just install this guy. Let's just try to install it back to Chrome driver 83 exactly. So it's trying to install 83. I think that was the problem. So the way it is installed in Mac is the way we install in Mac and the way we set up in Mac is totally different. So it's just trying to do it now. It's trying to hit, I think, it has installed 83 Chrome driver. Yeah. Let's try and run this now. Okay. Is it long? Oh yeah, now there is an error. Pavan, do you have your system right now? I don't know why.
Hello?
Pavan?
Yes,
Yeah,
hello.
hello. Do you
Yeah.
have your system right now? I don't
Yes,
know why
yes.
it's not this is happening.
Yeah. I'll share it just a moment.
Instead of spending time here, I will
Yeah.
quickly go to Pavan's system. So I'm making you co-host,
Yeah, so
and you can share your screen. Let me stop sharing my screen. I'll try to fix this after the class.
yes, sir. Just a
Can
moment.
you?
Yeah, I'm giving it to you. And right now, is this the thing you are going to?
Yeah, I will just no. This is fine. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a quick project. Can you just do me a favor? Can you just quickly
Yeah.
create a project with Selenium WebDriver installed? I'm trying to explain the dynamic expert to these guys.
Okay. Okay.
Just create a quick project. Everybody can see Pavan's system, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Installing. I'll add this chart.
Just quickly create a main method with a
Yes.
postal world in there.
You want me to create core and tests or straight away?
Just put a core and then there put a class. In the meantime, I will try to copy the XPath and give it to you that we have created so far. Just a minute. Where is my? You're done, Pavan?
Yeah, I'm done, Savik.
Just 1 minute. I'm just trying to recreate the XPath so that I can give it to you. One. Right, so I'm just going to send it to you right now. Just a minute. Yeah, it's opening fine. Okay, perfect. Just close that. And what I'll do is just get this XPath. I'm sending it to everybody actually. Can you just copy that XPath, please? I've sent you in the Zoom chat.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right. I'll take the control now. Okay. So guys, we have this XPath perfectly fine. Our hostel world is opening up perfectly fine. I'll quickly go to the hostel world class. Okay, driver.get, that's fine. What we will try to do is the XPath that we have got here. Right, we will try to understand that how we can use this XPath in a dynamic fashion. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, this XPath is what? It's a simple string. It's a simple string. That is something that we want to use in our driver.FindElement or elements method. And then I want to interact with the element. But XPath is just a string. So what I'm trying to explain here is the concept of dynamic XPath. XPath that can change depending on what type of input you're trying to work out with. Perfect. So now we know that there are 7 cards in that location or 6 cards in that location, whatever. So can I just simply do this? Can I just say for int I equals 1, I start with 1, I less than equals 6, and I plus plus. Very simple stuff. A simple loop that is getting iterated. No problem at all. Can I then say driver dot find element by dot XPath? This concept I'm showing you because you will find a lot of situations in future where you will be forced to use a dynamic XPath. You have to create a dynamic XPath. The XPath will change on its own. What do I mean by that is, so I'll just copy this whole piece. And I'm gonna put it here. Within the quotes. Up till now, there is nothing new. However, now things will be a little different because I will replace this 1, which is an index, with I. Do you see that? So I replace this 1 with the I, which means what? Which means this XPath is now dynamic in nature. Because every time the loop iterates, a new XPath will be considered, and then I am going to work with it. So now I'm pointing to an anchor. So I can then just say dot get attribute. And all I want to do is I want to get the attribute, which is href. So href. I want to get the list of the actual, href links, and I want to print them. No problem at all. So string link equals this, or card equals this. And once I have that in place, I simply go ahead and say, I want to print them. So sys out. Right? Not in here. When I control another system, that's what happens. It's really, really slow. Just type in, someone just type in println and add the card there, please. Can you do that? Pavan? Hey, Pavan? Yeah, can you do that? Okay. And just say, just remove that N, please. Yeah, and then just save and run it, please. So now when it runs, you will see that for each and every iteration, it is going to take out one single link at a time and get us the result out of it. So that's how you are dynamically changing the XPath. So if you go to the console now, Pavan, you should be able to see it. Yeah, console of Eclipse. What happened? Yeah, perfect. So you can see that it has got all the guys printed out. So that's how you basically work out with normal dynamic XPath. Everybody understood the concept? You're dynamically changing the XPath. That's it. Everybody okay with that? Yes, no?
Yes.
Perfect. Daniel, Tom, Jason.
Yes.
But
Okay.
you can't use the FindElements on.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
You can't use the FindElements to get them all back.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. I can definitely use FindElements, but I desperately wanted to show you this to give you the understanding of how dynamic XPath can be used. You're absolutely right. In this situation, FindElements will be the right thing to use, but then in many situations, you will see that FindElements is not the solution. You have to then figure out a way where you can dynamically update the XPath, and that's where this concept will help you.
Oh, cool.
Right? Good. All right, so I'm just going to stop my Pavan sharing. Pavan, I will come back to you again because to explain the assignments. All right, so
shall I stop the share?
Yeah, I have already stopped it. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
So now I'm just going to share again my screen. All right. So now that we understand this piece, I'm going to go back to my next class thing. Sorry. Oh, I closed that window completely. And then here, so class 12 is what I was explaining. Okay, perfect. So then we have understood about this guy, XPath Axes. All am I trying to say here is that you can take the help of Following-sibling, Ancestor, Following, Preceding to ideally find out your target element by referencing another element. That's what I'm trying to show you. Okay, so that's the Following-sibling. Do you guys have any questions with XPath Axes? Have you tried to use or any questions with these keywords called following or ancestors or preceding or following-sibling? Any questions? If you have seen the video, I have explained that there, but.
Can I just ask more of a general question, Sivik? How often would you
Yeah.
use XPath Axes by comparison to using just a direct XPath? Like say in your work, like day to day?
Maybe not much. I will not say not much. Maybe you can say maybe 5 to 10%.
Okay, so it's just if you're
but
having like real trouble getting like a direct one, then you would go for the Axis.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Because ideally nowadays, most of the companies are following a very good rule to give ID to
Yeah.
most of the elements. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
You
Okay.
can then directly interact with the ID,
Mhm.
but that's a lot of companies do follow, and you will also find people they don't follow that, right? So what happens is all of these HTMLs that we are seeing, they're actually auto-generated HTML because there is this framework called as AngularJS or React. These guys do generate the HTML layout, and the way they generate it, a lot of times, you know, the company will or the application developer will keep it exactly as it is instead of like changing the right
Okay.
element. So then you basically have to take the help of Axis to find the right element.
Okay.
But
Thanks.
yeah, definitely, it's significantly much lower than
Yeah.
normal usage of XPath.
Okay.
But still,
So
it's a very good to know, and especially in terms of interview, you will you
Mm.
know that when you go for an interview, people will definitely ask you questions on XPath Axis to know you know how well you are aware of this.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
I am trying to understand if anybody else is having any questions on this part. Yes, no?
Well, I had just one question.
Go on.
How the following sibling, can you just
Right.
quickly do a recap on it?
Yeah. Perfect. I will do that. So, for example, let me take the same guy, Hostel World. We were talking about this particular XPath. I have also given this XPath to you in the chat. So let me copy it up from the chat. And in here, if I go, you remember we were using this guy to basically come to one element. Now, if you look closely, all these guys are sibling to each other in one single series. All of them are under one parent, which is mosaic grid. So which means, for example, I'm assuming a fact that maybe there is a special element under this particular div over here, which is the third div. Okay. And you somehow came to div number 2. So for example, you are in div number 2. That's it. You are in div number 2. Now from the div number 2, you want to interact with, you want to go to div number 3 anchor tag. Maybe there is no direct, I'm assuming that there is no direct access to this anchor tag. Okay. You already have access to this anchor tag, but not this one. Or maybe it's a different element, not an anchor. Okay? You don't have access to that. What will you do? What will you do is, you are right now in this anchor, perfectly fine. What I can do is, I can just say slash dot dot. That will take me to the first element, the immediate parent, which is div. Then I will do a following sibling. Why? Because this div and this div are next to each other. They are brothers and sisters. It's a following sibling, the next sibling that I'm looking for. So I say slash, I say following sibling colon colon. And what type of sibling I'm looking for? Following sibling colon colon. And then what type of sibling I'm looking for? I'm looking for a div. And that's it. You see that? And then it is saying that there are 5 different guys over here. You want to target only the first one. Then you can go and you can wrap it again inside the bracket. Say you're looking for the first following sibling. That's 1. That's 1. And then you say slash a. Make sense? So you saw how I started from here, went to here, and then I landed here. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, okay. So, oh, you went up 1.
Yeah.
Couldn't you go down 1 instead of going up to the parent?
No, how will I? Because this guy is separate, right? You see? I'm here. I cannot go to here directly, right? How will I go to there? I cannot go to this guy directly because it is not in my level.
Oh, it's not in your level.
You have to always think about the levels. This guy is not in my level. So I have to go up once to come here. Am I making sense?
Because we were in the A level, the anchor
Yes.
A. Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. Oh, we gotta go. Yes. Okay, I got it.
You got it? So let me try to.
So I have to. We gotta see the correct structure.
Yeah.
Of the levels.
Yeah.
That's the game.
That's the game. Exactly.
That's the whole game. Yeah.
This the guy that I'm trying to work out with. I need to go back to this guy so that I can come down to this guy.
Because in the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Good. Good. So, right. So that's the situation, right? Similarly, the way I showed you for following sibling, I have the same concept of preceding sibling. And that's it. So preceding sibling will do then what? It'll go from here to here, as simple as that. Same thing. Either you can go up or you can go down. Following sibling and preceding sibling. That's how it is. Everybody got this part? Yes, no?
Also, even preceding has sibling.
Yeah, one is following sibling that goes down the sibling, or you can have a preceding sibling, which is going up. I have explained that.
Yes, and I went up because I'm in the same level. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Preceding, yeah, okay, preceding sibling.
Yeah, preceding and preceding sibling, yeah, you can use both, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Good. So I'm thinking that everybody's clear with that part. So now that you know that, so web element commands, we have these commands that we are going to use like crazy. So click, send keys, clear, get attribute will get you the attribute of any tag. What do I mean by that? I mean a very simple stuff, which means if I go in here, I say inspect, I will come down to this location, and this guy is going to give me, so if I'm trying to get the attribute of this element, I will simply go ahead and say that here. So I will simply go ahead and say that I am trying to get the attribute, say for example, I don't know, placeholder. You see that? That's the placeholder that I have. I want to get the attribute of the placeholder. That's where you will get the value as, don't need this. So just a minute. Where is my, okay. Just 1 minute, it's trying to ask me for something. I'm trying to populate the, yeah, here. Okay. So now, so you see, once I get this placeholder, I will basically be able to print this element or get this value. Get attribute will get me the attribute value for a particular tag. That's all, right? Let me clear this. Okay, so that's the attribute thing. Next, I will go to get text is a simple thing. If there is a text in the element, I will be able to get the value out of it. Okay, so for example, don't confuse with this information. So if I say that my location is Dublin, this guy is not the text which is there in the input text. No, this guy is the attribute called as a value. So you basically write something like this. You say driver dot get attribute dot find element and by dot XPath or link text, whatever it is, and then just say dot get attribute. Okay, in this get attribute, you basically pass on the information called value. The value is the attribute that you want to access to get the value out of a input box. That's my input box here. If I want to get this value called Dublin, that's what I will do. I will say get attribute of value. This value will get me the value of a placeholder. It's called placeholder. In technical terms, we say this as a placeholder text. It's a placeholder text. Okay. So that's that. Get text is something different. Get text can be used in here. Like that's a text. How do you know that? Because you see, I'm getting, actually it's not, because this is an image. It's not a text. Sorry. It is having an attribute called alt. Image will have an attribute called as alt. Meet the world. That's fine. That's not a text. But probably this one is a text. Let's say this one. H1. Yes, that's a text. That's a text. So if I say get text, I will get the value out of this guy. Okay, if I say the get text of this H1, I will get this value. It's a text. However, this is not a text. It's an attribute of image, and the attribute name is alt, A-L-T. That's it. So different element, for different element, you have to use different methods to extract the information out of it. So that is that. All right. What else we have? We have then nothing here but here. And I think in my last class, we don't have any PPT. We were basically working on test case. So I would like to know whatever we have just explained in terms of the summary. Are we all good with this? Yes, no. Any questions do you have?
Well, actually, I have another question.
Please go on. No problem at all. The summary class is just for you guys so that you can ask me n number of questions and I can.
All right. Well, no, just the last, the difference between get attribute value And
Mhm.
get text. Oh no,
Mhm.
well actually get text I understand. I didn't focus on the get attribute value.
Yeah. Okay. I will go again one more time. Don't worry at all. So
Thanks.
no problem at all, man. So pick up any website. Let's go to, for example, let's go to Amazon.com. Amazon.com. Okay. Uh, in here, I am trying to find an attribute information. You know that any XPath that we are trying to work out with, for example, this is my, okay, where is my XPath? My XPath is in the chat. Okay. So the XPath that I was referring is this guy. Perfect. In this XPath, by looking at this XPath, you can understand that this portion is the tag. This is the tag, the HTML tag. And this guy over here with the @ symbol, that's the attribute. Or let me actually make your life easy by putting it here. So this div that you see here is a tag, and this class is an attribute. Now, at many times while you write the automation test case, at many times you will have a requirement to understand what is the attribute value of a particular element, particular tag in the page. How can you know that? You can know that by using the method called getAttribute. You see here, for example, this text box. This text box is having multiple different attributes called type, called ID, value is nothing, name. You see, there is no information for value tag or value attribute, but there is name, which is field keywords, autocomplete off, placeholder nothing, class nav input, dir auto, tab index 19. Okay, these are the attributes that is forming up a particular element in the page. Now, if I want to get the value after I enter some information, so for example, I'm entering some information, say 1+. At this moment, if I just show you something, look at this very, very closely. Look at this guy up here. Do you see that? As soon as I entered the information, the value was nothing, value was empty earlier. As soon as I entered this guy over here, I am getting the value information. The value is having some information. So if I am writing the keyword, or if I'm using the method called getAttribute of value for input text, because input text will always have this attribute called as value. Okay, even if you don't see it, like in here, you can see the value attribute. In many cases, you will not see it. Okay, if you actually go to Hostel World, let me clear out. Let me go to Hostel World. Hostel World. in here, if you see, probably they don't have the attribute called value. Let me just look for this guy. It's input text. You see, I don't have the attribute called value. I don't have it. It's not visible, but actually it's there because input text will always have an attribute called value. And if you say get attribute of value from an input text, it has to come back with the text that you have fed in. Like in here, you see placeholder is an attribute and the value is this. So if you say get attribute of placeholder, that's what you will get back. You will get back this information. Am I making sense, everybody? Yes, no?
Yep, yes.
Yes. Can I just ask one question, Suvik? If you were, say, you wanted to test that the input field had nothing in it, could you technically test for value then? So if if the attribute value is there but it has no value, could you test that it comes back null?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Empty.
Yeah,
null.
empty.
Not
Okay.
null, but empty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. So that's with that. So now that we understand, so I'm thinking that in week 4, you guys have gone through all the videos and tried to solve the assignments, and I hope all the doubts are cleared in the summary. Is that right? Daniel, Tom.
Yes,
Jason.
thanks.
Good.
Much
Perfect.
better.
Perfect. Now we will hit back to assignments. Pavan, I need your screen. So I'm going to stop the screen share. Can you just switch on your screen, please?
Yes, Avik. Just a moment.
Perfect.
Just a moment. I'm giving it to you. Just a moment.
Yeah, no problem. That's fine.
So you want me to assignment?
Yeah. Just open up the screen and show the assignment.
Sure.
You have sent me. Jason, I didn't hear back from you for quite some time. Like, how are your assignments going on? You are unmuted now. You can talk. I'm not able to unmute you. Sorry. Jason, can you try to talk? I'm not able to hear you if you're unmuted. Actually, you're muted actually. Okay. Pavan?
Yes, Avik. Okay.
Share the screen, please.
Want to share the screen? It's not appearing.
No, it's not. It's not. No. You are the co. Okay. Let me.
Screening is not appearing to me. Sorry.
No, I will try to do it again. Just see now. You should be able to do it now.
Your screen I could see, but that sharing option I cannot. Yeah. Just a moment. Yeah. Now I got and.
But it's not coming up.
Yeah. Can you please? Is it coming up?
No, it's not.
Can you please stop share? I mean, can you please give me access once again? Sorry, please stop and give me.
Yeah, I mean, I have already made you a co-host. Wait a minute, let me withdraw it again. I'll try to make you co-host. Okay, I gave you a co-host permission. Can you try now?
Yeah.
Yes, it's coming up.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
This is the string.
Okay. Yeah, good. So let us try to run this through. Okay, I'm going to ask for a remote. Okay, we have what? Oops, sorry. We have week 4, perfectly fine. We'll go to assignments number 1 by 1 by 1, and then we will try to go through it. Okay, assignment number 01. What is it? We are trying to launch the btc.com modules, content pricing PHP, retrieve the price displaying below for single user. Okay, so what exactly we have done is very simple. We're trying to go to this particular location. Okay, if there is a problem with the element interaction, for now we can definitely go and use the thread.sleep, but that is not the right practice. We will understand syncing mechanism later on, where we will use the right technique to perform wait or sync between pages. But for now, we can use thread.sleep. What we have to do is we have to just simply get the XPath over here and just perform a get text method. Okay, so I will just quickly go to this particular application and then try to get the so that's my okay. So for this, we are planning to get the value, which is nothing but which is nothing but the pricing for the single user. Ideally, this element over here. So this assignment is all about the XPath finding. It's very simple to find the XPath. You go ahead and you do the inspect, right? And in here, Pawan, can you bring the find window? Just hit Control F in your screen. I cannot do that here. Hit Control F, please. Yeah, perfect. So in here, if you see, if I'm just trying to go and do an inspect, that's my element. And then I say, I am trying to look for the text which is under this. So 2 ways we can do it. One is, okay, here we can use Following-sibilng very easily. How? Look at this. Single user starting at price, right? I want to get, so this is one single game. You're trying to make your XPath in such a way that it will always work. Okay, what will I do? I will do a very simple structure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to look for a div, okay, that is having the class called as BTC price plan HD sub. So just a minute. I'm going to say this as BTC underscore price plan, right? Underscore HD underscore sub, and that is my class. So at class equals this guy. That's my XPath. No problem in that. It's saying I have 1 of 3. No problem. I will simply do a text. Actually, I don't even have to do that. My bad. I don't have to even say this. Why am I doing this? I can just simply directly say, text equals starting single user. right? That got me to the right element because we want to find the pricing for the user, single user. So I got to the single user without any hassle. Guys, you have to understand one thing. If you are able to write the XPath properly, your half of the battle towards writing a test automation is done, right? You will be able to write a very good, robust test case. So you see, I didn't do anything else, but I just simply targeted the keyword called single user to come to the right element for the situation. And then what will I do? I will just say following-sibling, what? Div. How many divs I have? I have 4 of them, but I'm looking for the guy, which is this guy called price vk, VTC price vk. So I'm looking for a div that is having a class called as VTC underscore price underscore vk. And is it the right guy? Perfectly, it is the right guy. And inside that, if I just perform get text, it works. Pavan, can you copy this XPath and put it in the script and run this, please? Now, when I spoke about dynamic XPath, guys, instead of single user, if I put any other text that is there in the page, then accordingly you will get the price for that particular card, right? Yes or no? If single user, the text single user, if I'm changing it to, can you go back to the application once again, Pravan? Yeah, go back to the, just close this XPath window, Chrome window. Yeah. So I have multi-user, single course, single user. I have 3 of them. So think about it. If I just simply change the text that I have hard-coded there called single user to multi-user or single course, then I will get the respective pricing information, right? That's dynamic XPath. Am I making sense, everybody?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Pavan, can you run that? Yeah, go on, sorry.
Well, but not with an index.
No.
a loop.
It doesn't matter. No. It doesn't matter
Oh.
with index. It matters that what exactly you want to make it as a variable.
Exactly. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a dynamic XPath. It's nothing to do with index. So this example actually is a very good example to talk about dynamic XPath. Yeah. And just go back to the console. You should have the value. Just change this to multi-user, Pavan. Single user to multi-user. And run this again. Just check, is it multi-user there or I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, multi-user. See the value now? 20. You see that? That's called dynamic XPath. Perfect. Can you go back to the next assignment, Pavan? All right. Okay, what is this? We will have to launch BBC, print the text of 3, 4, 5, 6 elements with tag in H2, right? So there are different tags that we have. And I mean, we have tag H2. Inside that, there are different indexes that we have tried to print. And that's how we did that. Just simply added the index with the square bracket. And you can print the values out of it using .getText method. Very simple assignment. Let's go to the next one. If any assignment you think that is you're not confident with, just stop me right there so that I can explain again. Okay. So for example, this one, launch the udemy.com, find out how many words are starting with the text Udemy, right? So we are trying to show you here that the keyword called starts with is the keyword or the XPath method that will help you to find out any element in the page that is having an attribute or a text. Just a minute, sorry about the bike. So that will start with a text called Udemy. By the way, you have to understand one thing. If you understand one thing, that is, there can be, the starts with can be used against any attribute. So for example, you are trying to find an element that is having an attribute, or you're trying to find all the elements in the page that is having an attribute called class, and that starts with XYZ, right? So for example, I can go and I can say that I'm trying to find out an element in the page, I mean multiple elements in the page that is having a class, okay? And the class is starting, the class value is starting with Udemy. Possible? So what I'm trying to say here is that starts with method. This method can go with anything. It can go with text, like the one we just did earlier, or it can go with an attribute. So if I just go back, can you just do a Control Z? I'm not able to do it. Yeah, perfect. So, okay. And then this guy over here called star, look at this, a star. Why the star? Can anybody tell me why the star is here?
The entire page.
Ideally, you're trying to say that get me any element in the page. So instead of giving a particular tag, I'm saying give me any element in the page that is falling under this criteria. That's starting with the text called Udemy. Right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Assignment number 4. What is in here? Okay, go to Amazon.com, print the text of all the links starting with the cell. It's a very simple one. I have already explained this earlier in the video itself, so it's quite self-explanatory. And then go to accounts.google.com, sign up, find how many elements contains the class, this guy. Yeah, it's the same thing, exactly the same thing. Instead of starts with, we are using contains. What is contains? Contains means the class attribute is having the presence of text, and the text is this. It can be in the beginning, or it can be in the middle, or it can be in the end. So if there is a class over here, and where is my class? Inspect. So for example, this is my class. I'm trying to find out all the classes in this page that is containing a text called price. What does it mean? It means it will give me the values like pricing block, price plan, BTC price features, not this guy because it doesn't have price. Contains means if the class is having some value called price, and that's that. Okay, so that is understandable with contains. Next is 6. What is that? It says find out how many links contain the text BBC. It's again the same thing with link. Okay, here you are specifying the anchor tag, right? That's it. Next, go to 7, right? Launch Indeed.com, search for Selenium jobs, write XPath for given elements. Very simple. We have to send the keys called Selenium. This guy over here, what is this guy? Either you can perform a click on the search button. Pavan, can you go to indeed.com? Indeed. Right. So either you can go and click on the Find Jobs button, or after providing what and where, you can press enter in your keyboard, keys.enter. If I do that, then I'm going to perform the search. And that's what I did. So here I say send keys, keys.enter. It is mimicking as if you are hitting the keyboard, enter, right? As soon as you do that, you basically get the result and you are going to get the text out of it. Simple. Next one is automate the following test case.
Sylvic, does keys represent the keyboard object?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so if you actually see keys dot, look at this, what we have. Arrow down, left arrow, right arrow, backspace. You see that? Delete.
Yeah.
All of them.
Okay.
Okay, and it's coming out of Selenium itself. It's coming out of Selenium. org open QA Selenium keys. Many at times even this guy don't function. Many at times even this guy don't function, and that's where we go and use another support from Java. We call it as a robot framework. Robo equals new robot. Sorry about that. Oops. New robot, right? And this robot guy is a part of Java itself. So let me import this robot. You can see it's coming from Java AWT package. It's a part of Java itself. And then this guy is also having the option to perform robots. I mean, different kind of options. So you can say key press. It's a key press event. Key press. I think you say key event dot, and yeah, the same thing. You can say what you're trying to do. Accept, alt, back, enter, blah, blah, blah. All of it is there. Sometimes even this don't work, so we go for this one then. Right? So, good stuff. Let's move on to the next one. What is it? Automate the following test case. It is simple, I believe. It just goes to Amazon.com, enters the iPhone 11, enter again, and then click the fourth link. That means in the result, click the fourth link, and that's the end of it. Ninth one. What is this? Create an array list and add a few names. Okay, and print it. Okay, so this is basically an array list. We're trying to talk about an array list over here because you know, we're talking about FindElements. So this is the reason why I'm trying to show you that how array list works. Array list can grow dynamically. So I'm just saying names.add. The add is the method that will let you add an information to the array list. So I just created an empty array list first in line number 12. And then I say names.add, and I'm just passing on all the information here. And then I'm just using a for each loop to print them out. That's it. Simple assignment. Moving on to the next one. Launch any website, count the number of links, and print the text of all links. Again, a very simple one. Just look for all the links there using driver.FindElements, and then print them all. Simple. Assignment number 11. What is it? Launch website, count the number of buttons, and print text. Again, same thing with buttons now, and then you just print them out, all the values. Pavan, I think all you could have done is just say button over here. You don't really need to give anything else. You're trying to look for all the buttons in the page and then print the value. Can you just run this and see if this works? No, I think it will run the other one. This is for, oh, this is for Facebook, sorry. Yeah, you see that? It gave you the values, right? There are 3 buttons and it just found out and then it gave you the values. Or 2 buttons maybe. Can you see how many buttons are there? Or maybe there is a button that is not having, oh, it's hidden. Yeah, it's a hidden button. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So then you can probably add if statement that if the button is visible or displayed, then can you just add the if statement in the for each loop? Just say if button is displayed, then print the value. Button dot displayed is displayed. Yeah, then put the text and run it again, and that should do the job. I mean, the result will be fine anymore. I mean, same again, because yeah, obviously, but you know that it is this guy. Okay, button the size is fine. We can put it. No, it will be on the loop, and it will keep on printing every time. I don't want that, so leave it. I think everybody got the point. So lesson number 12. What is this? Can you open that? Okay. Yeah, the same thing again. Count and print edit boxes. So right at this stage of our understanding this course, right, we are trying to give you as much as the same level of things for different, same level of assignments for different, elements to make you guys just do the same thing over and over again, so that you will be able to get the confidence, gain the confidence, right? All right, perfect. This is video number 11. Can you go to video number? Okay, we have 13. Okay, let's go to 13. What is it? It says automate the test case. It is going to, let me try and see what exactly it says. Can you just unmute and explain, Pavan? Can you unmute and explain? Cannot. What happened? Let me. Why? Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah. Can you try to talk now?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Fine.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sure. This is an assignment where you are clicking that pricing and retrieving details for a single user and multi-user.
Okay.
Yeah, just this thing, I'll run it.
Okay.
So this is all assignments. Few assignments I did it together, 13, 14, and 16. And
okay.
This assignment 13, these are the few steps.
Okay.
Which I followed, like this is constructor. Verifying page title is the next step. And verifying pricing, I need to click that button. I gave these steps. And verify the content in the single user. I mean, you have the content in single user and multi-user. Just want it to be printed here. So this is verifying the content for single user and verifying the content for multi-user. And I executed it from this test driver. Just
Perfect.
can I run
Perfect.
it once so that they can see the result?
Yeah, sure. Everybody followed Pavan? He just separated out the methods and he's just running it from one single class. Everybody is able to follow him? Good. Thank you.
This is assignment 13.
Yeah.
And then assignment 14
Yeah.
is just retrieving from footer links.
Yeah, I think it is explained in the video many times, so I think it's
Yes.
fine.
Yes. This
Let's
is
go
the
to-
script for that. This is
Yeah.
in assignment 14.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect, perfect. It's good. Go to the next one.
And
please.
assignment 14 and 15 are similar.
Okay, that's fine.
Assignment 16.
Yeah.
This is footer link and navigation without using that navigation.
Okay.
Same
I
question.
want to ask questions here. Everybody understood this piece, which is right in here, saying the HTTP URL connection. Everybody got this part. This is a very, very important thing that you should understand, because later on we will have to use this mechanism over and over again when we learn about API testing. Okay. Is it possible to have the list of assignments that I can catch up? Hector, everything is provided in the Google Drive, man. I will quickly show you. Pavan, I'm just, or Pavan, can you open the Google Drive, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to catch up.
Oh, you have to catch up. You already have
because
access
I need to practice. Yeah. I need to catch up quickly.
Yeah. Because we are putting a lot of assignments every week, and
I didn't know you got that far.
Man, I told you that we started from 2nd of May, right? I kept on telling you to look at the assignments, but I think you were a little bit occupied somewhere.
Okay, what I'll do is after the lecture, I'll get in touch with through the Slack, and you show me where I do so that I can practice them, all of them.
Perfect, no problem at all, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so that's the assignment number 16. 17 is what? Okay, my bad. Here in 16. So in 16, I am trying to show you that we are going to use the HTTP URL connection object. What exactly is this? HTTP URL connection object is coming out of Java net package. Okay. What exactly we are trying to show you is this. A simple strategy that will be used later on when we learn about API testing. Let me go to the network tab here. Clear out everything. Okay. I'm trying to, any action that I'm trying to perform in the page, we are going to send some information to the server that will compute some information and then render or display it in front of me in the browser in form of an application. So if I say that I'm looking for a job called test automation and engineer, and then I say Dublin, right? I say Dublin, and I say, so as soon as I enter this to information, you see a lot of different calls are being made. Why these calls are being made, guys? Anybody can give me an answer? Why these calls are being made? I didn't even click on find jobs yet, but I still get these calls. Why? If you look at these calls, Pawan, can you expand this window? I'm not able to expand this window. Just expand this window a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Why these calls are being made? If you little bit go to the top, you will see some calls that are being made. And what are these calls? Look at the call that are being made. It's called autocomplete.indeed.com. What is autocomplete? Let's kill this. I'm just removing everything. I'm going to say, okay, again, kill everything. I'm going to say test. As soon as I said test, I started seeing some logs. Why are the logs coming? Because Indeed is talking to its server to see what can it pull out of the keyword that I have already entered called text test. And with that respect, it can generate an autocomplete list that I'm seeing right now in the application. So Indeed is giving me 3 suggestions: test, testing, test automation. They're coming from where? From some server. If you go to the call that is being made, you can see autocomplete.indeed.com. The text. So what kind of call is being made? The call that we have made is get. There are different type of calls that are being made by HTTP. Okay, get is one of them. Get will fetch some information out of the server. Okay, if I go down a little bit, you see what we are trying to send. So the query is T. Okay. So when I hit T of test, it got me something. That's why this call was made. Let's go to the next one, and we will see something else maybe. You see TE, right? Some calls were made for that. If I go to the last one, that is having the full text called test. You see that? That's the query being made, and I got some response back. Look at the response tab, and that's just the response. It came here. This response that we are seeing here, it is in JSON format. Pavan, can you just select all of it? Control A on this, and go to JSONformatter.com in the page. Yeah, JSON formatter. Formatter. Yeah, enter the first one. Yeah, open that. Yeah, paste in here and process. Now that you see the solution came in to me as a response is test. Let me expand this. It came as test, testing, test automation, test manager, and many more that were about to be displayed. So it already pre-filled. So you see that? It's very, very important and very, very interesting how the applications are actually interacting and getting the data. I want to know how many of you guys have, tried this mechanism before? Anybody? Or is it completely new?
Yeah.
New.
I've heard about it.
Okay.
New.
Perfect. So you see, I'm getting all this information listed down here. So that's how you will be able to get the information. That's how applications interact with another application. With that concept, I have used this particular guy called HTTP URL connection. I've sent a method called get. I've said connect to this particular URL and get the response code. If the response code is between 200 and 400, so if the response code is coming under 400 and above, 400, 500, everything, they're all negative responses. Okay, that means your response, that means server couldn't reply back with the right value. So you see, code is greater than 200 and less than 400. That means that's a good range for me. So 200 and 300s are good. If it is, then I get the value out of it. Then I say that my link is there and I'm saying that the status is active, right? the situation. Okay, let's go to 17th assignment. Okay, it's similar to 14, 15. I think that's fine. Can you explain the other guys here, Pavan, quickly?
Yeah, Savik.
Go on, please.
This assignment 17 is I gave it to launch Zoom to check that links, is it working fine or not. But
Okay.
Zoom is the moment they entered Zoom, it is throwing some window. So
Okay.
I suggested them to go similar to previous sites, and I try it on another sites.
Perfect. Okay, that's fine.
Because that window alerts, it is coming.
Okay. Okay. Got it. That's fine. Can you try to go to others, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is assignments 1, 2, and 3. Actually, in a single test case as well. One is, yeah, just a moment, I'll show you. I'll run it. Is verifying a simple page title and verifying the error message with approach 1 and approach 2.
Okay.
This is 3 assignments of it. Here, I made these methods. Like this is verifying for a page title. In the constructor, I launched the website. In approach 1, this is the expected and the actual strings I took.
Okay.
In approach 2,
yeah,
straight away, I took that error message div. It is displaying, then give me this result.
Okay. Okay. But you were saying about some XPath that didn't work for you?
Yeah, I'll show you. I mean, that is not yet completed. I'll show you.
Okay.
The 4 and 5 assignments,
yeah,
these XPaths are changed.
Okay.
I haven't yet started this one, this 4 and 5.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Last 2 test cases.
Can you just show me which element is that? Can we fix that right now?
This has changed. This is the ID. This is the ID, and after entering any location, so this is the we are supposed to retrieve this list, and now the task is this list has to be captured.
Okay, that's fine. So can you just give me? Okay, can you just open the XPath? I mean, open the Chrome console. Yeah. Let's try to fix this. Right click on it, space. Okay, ID. Let's not use. So ID is changing. That's what you're saying?
ID. I mean, this field is okay. ID. It is having 2 IDs, like ID. From here onwards, just you can go ahead. Sorry.
No. So ID is there, right? So where exactly
ID
is failing?
ID is there.
Yeah.
And then once you entered some details, this is displaying this list.
Okay. Let me just check something. So this is your send keys. This is the guy, is it?
Yes.
No. Okay. So I'll put it here. That's one. Dot send key city. Click. Let's go. This is working fine. This guy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Then the
Click,
next one. Yeah, that is fine, right? And then this is the predicted result, right? That is what is having a problem. Yeah. Okay. So let's go and check out our hostel world. No, where is the window?
Yeah.
This is the window.
Shall I close the rest of the windows?
Yeah, open. Close all of them. Just skip one. I don't know, Hector. Guys, how many assignments we have given so far in last 4 weeks? Almost hundreds, right? Or more than that, maybe.
And I'm not giving any extra topics, Savik. The thing is, whatever is there in the video, I'm trying to giving that in the simple form so that they would be able to accomplish the complete tasks.
Exactly.
It is not like a number of assignments. The thing is, this helps them in understanding the complete test case.
Exactly.
In the minimal form.
Right. So yeah, Hector, there are a lot of assignments. I can show that to you. That's fine. That's not a problem. So can you just go in here and can you inspect this list once?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'm looking for a UL. UL means unordered list. I'm looking for a UL, and in the UL, I have multiple LIs. Okay, multiple LIs. So let's try to figure out something out of this. What kind of LIs I am going to take, and what are the LIs I will simply ignore. So for example, you can see there is one LI over here. It's called disabled. Disabled. That is basically a header called popular places. And then over here, city, that is also disabled. Okay, I don't want to really capture them. My guys are these guys, which are actually having some relevant information. So let me try and see. I have a LI inside. There's an I, and I is an icon, and then there is a label, and then there is a label. Ideally, this guy, you know. So let us try to first find this element, copy. I'm going to say I'm looking for a UL. So UL at ID equals this guy. That's my first element. Okay. Once I have this in place, then I am trying to look for only the elements that are having a particular label or yeah. So I'm looking for all the divs inside this guy. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm just looking for all the divs. Nothing more than that. Div. You see? That's it. That's all I need. Ideally. Right? So yeah, every time it just goes to the next guy and that's it. I am trying to get the text out of it so that I can print the value. So can you use this? Have you used this?
Yes, Avi.
And tried? It didn't work?
Yeah, just try. So initially,
just put that in, yeah, and then do a find elements of the same guy. Do a find elements of the same guy. Down line number 55. Yeah, put the same element there. Okay. No, I have to remove that. Yeah, okay. And then just need to loop through it. Just don't do anything else. You have suggestions, dot get text content city, leave that. Just say dot get text. Just print out dot get text, and if else we will do it later on. Leave it for now. Just comment out the if else part inside the. Okay. And then in the if section within the for loop, just try to print the value. This out, suggestion. Actually, you don't have to even do one thing. Take out the if also. Complete if, just comment out. Yeah. And in here, just say suggestion.getText. That's it. Suggestion, that's a web element already. So say .getText. That's it. And run it now. So I'm just trying to see that if this guy gets the list of element, and then you can easily do the manipulation of what to be considered and not considered.
Oh, sorry, just a moment, Savik.
You have to run the hostel world.
Just.
Ooh. Yeah. For now, give a city just to run the test. Give anything. Yeah. And then just go inside. Yeah, that should run it. Yep. There's some error.
Yeah.
Unable to locate the element. Input ID contains. No, it's not a contains, right? Remove the contents. It's an ID. Input ID. Well, that should work though. But just try it. Input ID. Yeah, take out the bracket. Yeah. And say ID equals. And remove the bracket from there. Yes. Okay, run this now.
Yeah, I got it. Just a moment. Savik. Let me try.
I think it has to give some weight there.
No need, no need. It has one more ID is there. Look, I mean just location.
Oh, okay. You're using the wrong one then. Yeah. That's the wrong one.
Last time also when we were working, few of the fields values are changing dynamically.
Yeah.
Just
View
they are
prices.
developed in such a way.
Okay, we will see this one later on.
Yeah, that
I have
is
to see what's
points.
going on. That's fine. I will see it. Anyways, guys, I think we have given the solution to all the assignments, most 95%, 99% assignments so far. So we'll keep on continuing doing that. The last thing that I would like to tell you is that this is the this is the free session that we were providing for last 1 month, and today is the 1 month that we have just completed. We promised to give 4 weeks, and that's what it is completed. So from next week onwards, we will be again regrouping, same time. Before that, I will send everybody a reminder mail with the registration information, how to register, how to pay, and all the stuff, so that you can process the payment for the registration. And then, there will be a different link to join the class. It will not be the same link. It will be a different link. Also, the YouTube videos that you already have access to will be there, obviously. Whoever is not planning to continue, they will still have the access to the old videos, but not the new videos. And we will create a separate folder for the final list of people who are registering in Google Drive. And we will keep on keeping our assignments and classes in the same order, the way we do it. And that particular piece, that particular drive folder will be only given to the participants who have registered. So that's the plan. I will send you all the details again in a mail by today or tomorrow. Also, I will release all the assignments and videos. So, I will release all the assignments and videos to the person who confirms that they are joining. I will not give it to everybody, but obviously, please keep an eye on for the email that I will send you. Just let me know if you're happy to continue, and then I will send you the videos. I will add your name or email to the YouTube video as I do. Right. So that's the situation. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining the class. And whoever wish to continue, we will see you guys next week, same time. Right? Thanks, Tom. Thanks, John. Thanks, Gokul. Hector.
Thanks.
All right. Good stuff. Binakshi, Dilip. Dilip, this was your first class. How do you feel? Can you switch on your camera?
Oh, I don't think that could be possible right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Probably in the next class. Oh, my first class is really great. So So let me introduce myself to the class.
Yeah, please do that.
So I have had experience in back in India of 2 years of QA automation. I was involved in tools with QTP, Robot, Selenium. I was involved in mobile automation too, quite a bit. And now I've just completed my graduation with a master's in data science. And now I'm happy to join you guys to learn on the new tools and automation.
Perfect.
And it's a great class service, and it's just a real refresher for me, I could say.
Good stuff. Have you already started seeing? You have access to all the videos already. So have you started watching them? Or
oh yeah. I'm already. I think I'm on week 4 or 5. Sorry, not the week. Video 5, I think, or 5 or 6.
Okay.
So I'm just in the process. Probably, I think I should catch up with all of you by next week.
Perfect. Just ping me in Slack. Me and Pawan will be always there. The students here itself, they are also talking to each other, and if there is anything that they can help you out with, they will definitely do it. I believe so. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining, and see you guys same time next week.
Yeah.
Different link. I'll send a new link.
Yeah. We'll chat to you later.
Thank you, Hector.
All right, then we'll talk later.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Tom. Thank Gokul. Gokul, how is it for you?
Yeah, I'm working on class 11 assignments.
Right.
I finished eight assignments.
Good. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Thank you. See you guys next week. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a great week ahead.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.